think this will be my new headwear for all my videos from now on, at least until I get a new one. Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Welcome back to F1 with Mike, and this is your review for the qualifying session of the Bahrain Grand Prix. That was amazing. That was amazing. I mean, not very exciting, but it was amazing. So many things to talk about. Without further ado, let's get into it. So coming to the weekend so far, I mean, I think everybody knew that this track will be a very McLaren dominant track, and so far through FP1 where I think FP1 session was not so representative because there were a lot of young drivers in the cars. I think Max was not in Q1, George was not in Q1, Charles Leclerc was not in Q1, I think Carlos Sainz was not in Q1. A lot of number one drivers were not in Q1, so it was not a representative session, and it was in the afternoon. Yeah, it was in the afternoon, and normally you don't race around the race at the Bahrain Grand Prix is at night, so because of the track temperatures not good. They've tried it before, it doesn't work. It's not good, it doesn't end well because of how hot the cars get and the heat that it brings to the drivers. Anyway, the evening session was much better, much more representative. Both times were topped by McLaren, of course. And in Q3, this was earlier today, when I saw Oscar Piastri went 1.3 seconds ahead of the fastest time, I think it was a Mercedes, I'm like, we are done for. We are done for. Like, I think even when Lando went for his run, because Lando messed up his last run when he had fresh tires in Q3, in FP3 practice 3. He messed up his first run, so he went on used tires and he was still 6/10 faster than the nearest person to him. That was just diabolical. Anyway, getting into qualifying, we knew, of course, the McLaren's dominant, but the other thing that we did not know is the other drivers on the track. Like, where's everyone else? So, without further ado, in Q1, we had the elimination of Alex Albon in P16, Liam Lawson P17, Bortoleto P18, Lance Stroll P19, and Bierman P20. Very surprised to see Bierman last though, because last race he was in Q3. He made it up all the way. In fact, he finished in the points. I think he finished P10 in the points. So during the race, so very surprised to see that here. Lance Stroll, I think the Aston Martin was not just hooked up, and yeah, maybe he's reverting back to his regular settings because it wasn't really a good session for him. But Toledo, same thing, he couldn't do nothing. The Sauber is supposed to be the slowest car on the grid. I expected him to be either him or Hülkenberg to be 20th, but at least he did well. He is in P18. P17 was Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson was quite unfortunate because his DRS flap was closing by itself. There was an issue. So anytime he opened it, it closed itself. I think it was on the final run. So the team couldn't fix the issue. So he just went out and did a run, but that was the best he could. I think based on the commentary I was hearing from the commentators, it wasn't at every time because there are 3 DRS zones. I think it opened in some DRS zones, but it didn't open at the others. So that can mess with how you approach braking and all of that. So Liam Lawson was knocked out in Q1 because of that. Alex Albon, this was the surprise here. So Alex Albon was knocked out in Q1 by Nico Hülkenberg. Although, as I'm recording this now, he has been promoted to P15 because after the session, FIA realized Nico had track limits violation. Even though Nico didn't make it to Q3, although he made it to Q2. So Nico has now been demoted to P16 because of his track limits violation. And Alex Albon has been promoted to P15. And it's quite unfortunate because you don't know what Albon could have done. Maybe he would have made it to Q3 as well. But, well, you can't cry when the head is cut off. So coming into Q2 started with an immediate red flag on the first runs. I think Yuki Tsunoda was on a very fast lap, but then I think Ocon straight into the wall the second half. I was expecting so much. At least the last person I would expect to see in the wall there was Esteban Ocon, but he was in the wall and unfortunately brought out the red flag. Thank God it was early. It wasn't late that they couldn't do nothing about it. So the drivers were able to go back in the pit. There was 11 minutes left for them to put on other at least even go for 2. Every driver could have gone for 2 runs. So, but in this round, Duhan was eliminated P11. I think Duhan had an amazing weekend so far. Honestly, I don't know what the Alpine has in their car. Like, this track just suits them. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the low speed corners. Their cars are maybe good with low speed corners. So, yeah. In Q1, Duhan finished the session P5. He finished P5. That was impressive. Honestly, he finished higher than Pierre Gasly actually. So impressive from Duhan. In P12 it was Isaac Haja. Very impressive. I mean, he has made it to Q3 twice this season, finishing like P7 on both occasions. But it was like I don't think they had the pace today, so he couldn't do nothing about it. Then Hulkenberg, this is where he was meant to finish. He was meant to be P13, but because his lap time was deleted from Q1, so he's P16 now. And right now in P13 is Fernando Alonso. Alonso was promoted to P13 because of that disqualification, the deletion of the lap time of Nico Hulkenberg. And in P14 now will be Esteban Ocon. Normally, Esteban Ocon should be P15 because he didn't set a representative lap time in Q2. No representative lap time. He crashed. So obviously he should be last in Q2. But because he was on track, there was a little track time. So that kept him P14, and Alex Albon promoted because he didn't set any lap time, starts P15. So that was what happened in Q2. Well, Q3 now. The first time this season both Red Bulls are in Q3, which is, I think, is something Red Bull should be celebrating, to be honest, because Liam never made it to Q2. But in UK's first go, he made it into Q2, and now he's in Q3, even though that car looks very undrivable. Another driver that made it to Q3 this time, Carlos Sainz. See, I told you guys, Carlos Sainz will outperform Alex Albon this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call me the Oracle because I see the future. I see things. See? Just come to me for any advice and I'll give you good advice. I see the future. Anyway, yes, Carlos Sainz made it into Q3 for the first time this season. Amazing from him. Gasly as well. Gasly first time in Q3 this season because Alpine has not scored any points. I think based on how that car has been moving this weekend, I think they might score some points this weekend. But let's see what the race brings tomorrow. Anyway, and on pole, Oscar Piastri. Oscar delivered. Oh, my days. Man, that McLaren is fast. It is lightning quick. But not only them. Mercedes. Oh, my days. Honestly, I think, as I mentioned in one of my videos recently, Mercedes are that team right now that they are just doing their thing. They have no issues. There's no drama. Oh, Hamilton is not performing. Hamilton is struggling in the car. None of that. It's just Russell and Antonelli doing what they do. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's saying anything. There's no spotlight on them. They're just going about doing their things and making progress. No issues. And I'm telling you, they're enjoying it because today Russell was P2. And Antonelli was P4. Amazing pace. I didn't see that coming from anywhere because like they were the only ones to even challenge the McLarens for pole position. Like they came close. At least I think Piastri got pole by a tenth, maybe 0.163, I think. Anyway, but it was amazing to see from Mercedes. They actually have some good pace. I think Russell might just be the last person on the podium tomorrow. Leclerc as well. Amazing lap from Leclerc. Maybe that new floor is working for Ferrari now, but I don't think so because, like, you know, one thing about Leclerc, he's a one-lap merchant. Let's give it to him. When he can pull out the best out of a car over one lap, but the Ferrari is not just fast. We don't know what the race pace is going to look like, but if there's someone that can do something in the race, it's also Leclerc. You know, like the last season, he was the merchant of one-stop strategy. So let's see if that will work for him tomorrow. I don't think it will because, honestly, everyone has to do two-stop. This track has high degradation. Kimi Antonelli continues his fine run. Kimi, what a guy. Oh, that guy is 18. He's 18. What he's doing in that car is just simply amazing. I'll give it to him. P4 today. Let's see what the race brings tomorrow. Pierre Gasly. Ooh, Pierre Gasly was so excited. P5 for him in the Alpine. I mean, let's see. I don't think he can hold that position tomorrow. I think tomorrow best finish for him will probably be maybe P7 because I think Norris and Verstappen might overtake him. But let's see. Let's see. Honestly, very good qualifying from Pierre Gasly to finish above Norris and Verstappen. Norris now, Lando, Lando bottled it again. These are the kind of mistakes you cannot make when you are battling in a championship. You cannot make this kind of mistakes. It's too silly. It's too silly. Come on. You have the fastest car, like by a mile. The minimum you should be having in this race is P4. Let's say, okay, maybe Piastri outperforms you, Russell outperforms you, Antonelli, maybe even Leclerc. At least P4, P5. Down in P6 when your car is the fastest on the grid. It doesn't make sense. Man, Lando needs to wake up. But Max Verstappen, P7, woof. Well, where did that come from? Because, like, last week he was on pole. We're talking about the amazing lap he had in Japan. And look at Max today, P7. Although Yuki P10, and Yuki was just 2 tenths away from Max. Honestly, that Red Bull car is trash. It is. But I don't think we should always say the car is trash. I mean, yes, the car is not good. It's not very drivable because we saw how Max was struggling to turn in. Even Yuki, I'm surprised Yuki even made it to Q3 because during the practice session, he couldn't set a single lap on the soft tires. He was just struggling the whole time. But the fact that he made it to Q3, honestly, kudos to Yuki. But the Red Bull car is not very drivable. Not very drivable at all. Carlos Sainz, impressive. First Q3 appearance of the year. P8 in the Williams, and Lewis Hamilton. As Lewis said, don't expect any magic from me. They were asking him in an interview over the weekend. He said, should we expect any magic from him? And he said no. Lewis said no. There's no magic to be expected from that Ferrari, even though with the upgrades. And I saw an article. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the description. That the Ferrari upgrade is not giving them what they hope to get, and this means they might just forget about the season and just focus on 2026. If that will happen, I don't want that to happen because I think I don't want to write off Lewis. I don't want to write off Charles because especially Charles, you cannot write off Charles. Charles is still young. I think the question is more on Lewis. Like, is it done? Does he still have this? Does he still have that? But for me, I feel like the car is not good yet, so I can't really judge him or do anything about it or say anything about it because it will look premature, But let's see what happens in the race tomorrow. Maybe the new floor will give them some decent race space. Maybe he can gain some positions. I think this is why I feel Gasly will go down because race pace, I see Norris, Verstappen, and Lewis probably overtaking him. Even Yuki in the Red Bull. So let's see. And we don't know the chaos that might ensue tomorrow. Will there be a few safety cars? Will there be red flags? Will there be? Listen, I'm all open for it. And for those who try to join my stream, I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm still trying to figure this streaming thing out. Like, my stream keeps crashing every time. I don't know what is wrong. But I will not give up. I'll keep trying. Eventually, one day we'll get it correct. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow after the race, you'll see my review for the race. Take care of yourself. I hope you all are good. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. See you soon.